If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Last time on Lawful Stupid. We pick back up as our adventurer's new caravan has sprung forth from the walls of Kreneth proper. We have 3 Black Lotus potion wagons charging forth, followed up by the Panda Express. To your surprise, the second cart explodes. Rathel and his 2 guards throw water on his flames, and immediately the flames shoot back.
No water, my dudes. It's like a grease fire. Dirt.
They hear you, and they, like one guy with burnt hands, they're starting to throw dirt. It takes a lot of work, but you're able to extinguish the flames. You're able to determine 2 things. 1, the explosion came from the inside. 2, the cabinets and lock boxes that contain the potions and materials have exploded.
I'd like to go ahead and shift. What that's going to let me do is sniff real good. Now I'd like to go into the sniff zone.
You smell a combination of magic, death, burnt skin, char, ash. One thing that you know for certain is that this explosion was magic. I think you sniff up and you smell it. You smell that same magic. It's over to the left and down, and that's when the second wagon explodes. The second cart exploded, and the shock wave rocks you, Gustum. The other guards, 2 on the ground, still reeling from the from the wreck. The 3 guards stumble to their knees, some all the way to the ground. Kato and Darling, I believe you guys were out in the open as well, not necessarily hidden. So you guys would be kind of caught off guard and pushed by the shockwave of the explosion. Any instant reactions?
I'm going to the other cart. The one that's not on fire.
I just want to make sure that I'm in the right here. I think I'm still wild shaped and shifted, right?
You are shifted. I don't know. Are you still a badger?
Therein lies the question. I guess if I knew in the order of operation, I know I healed a guy whose hand was burned, and I know that I became a badger to dig a tunnel to throw dirt on the fire. I couldn't have cast spells when I was in wild shape. So I just don't know the order. I don't know if I healed and then wild shaped, I would still be wild shaped. But if I wild shaped and then had to come out to heal, that would also be a thing.
Yeah, I don't remember the order of operation, so I will say dealer's choice.
68, baby.
What you're gonna say? What?
Dealer's choice. You can choose. It's not that big of a deal for me, so if you want to say you're still shifted,
I will still be a badger then.
Yeah, save your resource. Totally fine.
Yep.
You want to?
I have more keen senses as a badger, and I'm shifted, and I have that sniffer going.
Yeah,
so.
you had just sniffed, and then the explosion happened.
Yeah.
And so you're still a shifted badger.
I guess. So there's only 1 cart now that's unexploded.
Well, 2 counting Panda Express.
The Panda Express. Knowing the second cart is still ablaze and it's like this chemical fire, I'll run alongside there and start digging again to get dirt to put this fire out safely.
Yep. Kato and Darling, what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to the first cart that is currently unmanned by anybody, and I need to see if there is something hidden in that to make that cart explode and hopefully save it before it does explode.
I'm in tow. I'm following her.
All right, so you two start running towards the first cart, which is parked next to Panda Express. Kato?
And as I'm doing that, you see a shadow of myself come off and begin trailing behind me at whatever speed we're going at.
Wait, so how close is the unexploded cart to the Panda Express?
You hadn't parked it that far away. It was like 20 or 30 feet. Because you remember, you went around
the supposed blast radius of what can I see as far as like scorch marks?
Sugar and spice.
From the explosion, you know, from what you can see from both, it's about 30 feet. So Panda Express is close.
Can I shout over my shoulder like, sugar, spice, yeah, away from there. I'm a badger. This is what I sound like when I'm a badger.
Yeah. Roll animal handling with advantage because like they're yours.
You got it.
But you're also badger voice, so it's not clearly custom.
Hey, you gotta run away. I got an 18, Big Chief.
With that, Sugar and Spice, they were kind of catty cornered. So, you know, they're not there to steer, but so they march forward, and they kind of pull up next to, in a weird catty corner situation. You're going to have to like do a 19-point turn to fix this, but they're right up next to that other one that's already been put out in fire and crumbled.
Okay.
But now they're good, 70, 80 feet from the first wagon. As
if I hadn't caught that, you'd have murdered him.
Hey, I told you, right? Like, I refreshed your brain. I wasn't going to get you on 3 weeks of that.
I'd be writing a real sad letter. Fucking had donkey for dinner. Tears.
Oh, no.
One of the meals. I had
powers
sugar
do you
today.
get?
It wasn't very sweet.
What powers do you get from a donkey?
Increased by carrying capacity.
Your march distance is increased. So as Kato and Darling are running to the first the first wagon, you see Kato's shadow kind of fall off behind him as Echo, and it stays 15 feet behind him as they run. Interestingly enough, the 3 guys that are stable, they all start running towards the fire. But then as you two, Kato and Darling, run towards the first cart, you see Wrathel kind of turn and say, "What are you doing?" as you're running away.
Saving the first cart!
So the first 2 guys are going to run up to the cart that's still actively on fire, and they're just going to see how effective they are. So they're like taking shovels and whatever they can, and just shoveling dirt onto this. Now, because you don't have Kato, because you don't have Wrathel, it's taking longer for that fire to go out. Kato and Darling, you rush up to that first wagon. What do you want to do?
Go inside and like throw open the door, go in.
Yeah,
and
first thing, door's locked. You just want to bash it open?
I'm gonna smash it.
Okay, roll me.
Well, he's smashing it.
Roll me athletics. You said it, but question: if you think the cart's going to explode, kicking in door.
Smash a lock? No, I'm just like, you said it's locked. I don't know
Yeah, it's locked.
Do you mean there's a lock, or is like handle a jiggle is locked?
The door is locked. It's a locked door.
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna try to bash that mother in.
I was picturing a padlock on the outside as well that you could smash off from like a downward angle.
Ooh, stand by. Inside of this, is there a window in this door?
Yeah, there's like a window.
Yeah, cool. So I'm going to disappear Echo. Echo appears inside of this cart.
Okay.
What do I see inside of here?
Oh, yeah, no. So when you pop into this cart, because you guys haven't been in one of these, well, I guess you haven't been in a functional one of these. So on the left and right, it's like a counter on each side, and it's almost like a workspace. And then top to bottom is like shelving and cabinets desks, like shelves with cabinets where doors are shut and locked. Now there's glass, so you're going to see all the different potions. On the bottom, there is cabinets that do not have glass, but they are shut and locked, and you can assume that more product is there. These countertops are clean. There are what Kato can only assume without more investigation is like equipment to test potions or to potentially verify the product.
There's just a lot of potions inside. It seems just like the other ones, they've exploded from somewhere inside.
You can unlock the door and let her in. Like now that you're inside.
She's still trying to get in.
Well,
you can only use his
I don't think my
eyes.
Echo
You can't teleport.
I think I need to.
Yeah.
I can teleport now. I will do that, and then we will flip spaces,
Yeah,
and I will unlock the door.
I thought that's
from
what
the
you were
inside.
doing when you asked what was inside. My best.
Well, if it was going to explode, I was going to keep me outside and the shadow.
It could still explode. Hey, listen, don't let your
It could
dreams be
still, but
dreams.
now I can pop in real quick and open it.
That's true.
Because maybe sister knows some things that I don't.
Yeah, I'd like to, as soon as that door flies open, I want to change into fox form and take a sniff around to see if I can identify any of the weird things that aren't potions. Like that chemical fires.
Yeah, I was say that fox form has advantage on sniff checks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll me a sniff check, a perception with advantage, using your smell.
Sniff checks are cool. This is the official sniff podcast.
A 14.
Yeah. So with a 14, here's what you can discern. You can smell the smoke. You could smell the active smoke that's billowing from the second cart. And so you can determine that whatever potion is making that smell likely came from the top racks, like above the bar. And so you can kind of narrow it down to one section. The potions aren't labeled, but you can see it's from there.
She can still talk in fox form because we've established this. So
Yes.
to Kato, it's like, top rack. And then she'll start like sniffing around up there to try and figure it out while helping him out.
Yeah, so these cabinets that are locked have the little like locks that you would like padlocks that you would expect. So you could try and break those without being like super disruptive. I mean, you're a fucking robot. You'd probably just smash it with your hand with a strong enough check.
That's robotist of you. I will try it though. Oh, it's a crit. I got 20.
Nice.
Yes, you
I
reach up
tried to-
and just crunch this little padlock and break it free, and you're able to open the cabinet.
Tenderly, I open the cabinet.
Tenderly, you open the cabinet.
Crunch.
Yes, indeed. Which one, sister?
Still trying to find.
And as you say that, Shane, you guys are still... Those two guys are still shoveling away fire. What is your passive perception?
My passive
It's
perception
16, right?
is a 16. That is correct, sir.
Okay. You notice that the mercenary farthest from you, imagine them in a line from you, because I imagine you're still in the trench, kind of making sure they have enough dirt.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps looking back at that front car, like he's like throwing dirt, but he's looking back at Rathel, and then he's looking back at that front cart.
Could I make, please, an insight check on this gentleman to see kind of what his vibe might be?
Yeah, let's reverse that, right? As we're being storytellers and narrative. What are you trying to determine?
I want to determine, is this guy just nervous because there might be an explosion and it's going to go boom? Or is he like, why hasn't it blown up yet? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I want to see, like, is he nervous or... It's kind of
shifted
tough.
form is 1 minute, right?
My wild shape, my shifted form is 1 minute. My wild shape
Not
is 1
wild
hour.
shape. Sorry. Yeah, your wild shape's 1 hour. And you're a giant badger, right?
I'm a giant badger.
Let's just check what you have.
I'm a medium-sized badger.
Keen
it's a cave
smell.
badger.
Okay, I just wanted to
It's
see if you had
large.
keen smell as a badger as well. And you do. Roll me. Yeah, this is insight. But you know what? Roll
I have
me an
advantage on all
insight.
insight checks while I'm shifted.
Right. Wait,
Oh.
you're shifted as a badger?
While I'm shifted as a wild hunt shifter, that's what
Right,
that's
but
one of the
a
benefits I
minute would
get.
have passed by now.
Would a minute have passed already? Okay.
Yeah, but what I was gonna give it to you anyways because you can smell people's fear and anxiety and that kind of stuff, especially if you're not super busy. You're just throwing up dirt. Like, I'm happy to give you advantage on that. That's why I was checking to see if it had keen smell.
Cool.
Good to know on the shift thing.
Yeah, it's basically all the wisdom checks: animal handling, insight, medicine, even perception, and survival. Yeah. But you want a insight check with advantage. So.
Yep.
We got a 12.
So with a 12, you can tell you're not sure if his nervousness comes from him looking at Rathel or him looking at the first cart, but it does not appear to be a fear for another explosion. But he does seem afraid. Like nervous, like he keeps the shifty people. He keeps clocking a situation. He's not like he's looking at the cart and then Rathel, and the cart and then Rathel.
You've given me so much. I can't ask him anymore.
I feel free to ask. I will be happy to because it either makes sense that you know it or it doesn't.
Does it seem from my insight check, which was a 12? Can I discern at all if he's nervous because they're hiding something and they're afraid that my siblings will find it in that cart?
I will answer your question because it is not a fear of something being found.
Okay.
Like, you don't get that vibe because I think he would be acting a certain way.
It's not like, oh no, that's where I keep my dirty magazines is in that lowest corner.
Yeah. No, it is a fear. It is not a nervousness, but it's not like somebody trying to hide something. It is
sure.
He is looking between Rathel and the cart, and he's afraid as he's shoveling fire. And
what does Rathel look like?
Rathel is a combination of watching the cart and watching these people because he is now, you can tell he is concerned.
Yep.
Because he's with a bunch of mercenaries and the people from the Lotus shop with him are expired.
Right. So we're kind of like his secondhand backup, and now we're all he's got.
And does he trust you?
Right.
Kato and Darling, you guys are in the wagon, and you pull it open, and you can see there's these potions, and they're colored in this vermilion liquid, and you're able to pull down a couple if you would like.
Yeah, ooh. One in each hand.
Yeah, you just shake them up. Is that what you're doing?
No, not at all.
Drinking them, double fisting, drinking them both immediately. Is that what you're doing?
Shake them.
I'm mixing them because it's like a pop rock effect, right? It just needs a little bit of liquid. And
Shake. So you pull them down and you look at them, and you see that these have a label on them. But
skull and crossbones.
But no. Well, there's a skew on them, like a number.
I scan it with my robot scanner. The eyes.
That's not a barcode. It's a skew.
Oh.
Barcodes and skews are often together, but not always the same.
Also true.
But does it tell me anything about what it is?
No, because it's a skew. If you're familiar with a skew, it's an assortment of letters and numbers. It's not anything that a joke. The idea is that if somebody robs them, they don't know what they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
perfect. This is a great situation for this.
Are they cold, hot, changing colors?
I put them to her nose.
Yeah, she smells
Slowly.
So Kato is shoving these two potions in.
Smell this, darling.
These are potions of knockout cast. You just make your victim inhale the vapor and they fall over immediately.
You definitely understand that these potions emit the same types of odors that the flames do.
Yeah, these ones are bad. These smell like the flames.
And as I look up, these are the same color. Are they in the same bottle?
They are in the same type of bottle. It's just it's a very simple spout with a round base.
And then as I look back up to where I pulled these from, how many of these similar do I see?
There's about a dozen.
A dozen? And then are they segmented by like in a cabinet situation where like there's another?
These are in their
lift or
own cabinet.
The only one I've just unlocked holds
Correct.
all of
The
these.
one cabinet is all of these.
Sister, do you believe that we should dispose of these? Being the culprit of the last two explosions, potentially?
Make sure there's no ignition anywhere.
I
Something
will
to set it on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, roll an
Use your
investigation
hands.
check.
Gosh dang it. Investigation, this is not good for me. That is a 4.
You don't see anything that would make you think there's an ignition source.
There does not appear to be an ignition source.
Did you try
Devin the
moving
player
anything?
versus Kato's head. Sorry, go ahead, Avon.
Did you move it? That doesn't look. You look like you just glanced at it.
I do not believe that we have sufficient time to investigate thoroughly.
She is gonna try and investigate thoroughly, like pause up on counter, wall, whatever, and take a look, see as well.
So as you guys are doing that, Rathel comes up to the cart and says, and sees you holding these potions with this broken lock, and says, "What are you doing?" And you see his eyes narrow towards you.
Find an ignition spot. These are what exploded. Somewhere in the cart. If there is
Catch.
any.
I'm going to toss one to him to see how he responds.
Rathel leaps to the right and rolls. When this potion hits, it explodes.
When you say explodes,
Yeah, I
about
said
radius-wise.
explodes. Yeah, no, it's a good point. So he was at the back of the wagon. You threw it at him. He dodged. The wagon you are in rocks. And things start...
so I have this ability.
Hold on.
By
hold
Go-Go
on.
Gadget arms.
No, let me finish.
I can hug them all.
So there's an explosion, and the wagon you're in rocks. Two things occur with this. Fire goes about 10 feet out, and there's also a shockwave that comes with it that rocks the wagon. And more of these potions begin to fall towards you and Darling.
I need
What
to change
would you
back
like
and
to
catch.
do?
One moment, please, while I study my character sheet.
I want the audience to know that this isn't what I expected.
So, can I ask you a question, Dwayne? Just DM to
Yes.
DM, since I'm not involved in this.
Yes.
Is there a reason why you're not calling for a dexterity saving throw in this situation?
For them? Mm-hmm. I want to see what they do. It depends. If they want to try and catch them, or if they want to try and run, I'm going to give them different things.
Understood.
That's why.
Just curious.
I also know the threat level.
Honestly, just making conversation.
So, knowing this cabinet is probably pretty small because there wouldn't be a ton of. You wouldn't want these.
There's
things
about
to
a dozen,
move in
remember?
motion, right?
And they were imagine they're just above your face because the type of cart, right? They're not out of reach, but they're within reach.
I'm going to throw my chest to the front opening of this, as well as my arms extending on each side to stop anything from falling out.
What
As
would
best
Darling
possible.
like to do?
She's changing back into normal person form so she can have hands to try and catch anything that falls from that cabinet specifically.
I'm also, of note and very important, is I'm sending my Echo 30 feet away from me.
Nope, you can't do both. Hey, Deb,
as a bonus action.
No,
I get movement.
This isn't combat. Roll a sleight of hand with advantage because Darling is trying to help you.
That is a 12.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. You throw your body against, like, the cabinet, like your hands, your arms, and Darling changes out of her form. And as she's doing this, she's still on the counter, so she kind of hits this. And now there's the combination of the two of you, and there are potions stacked against the door as they're, like, just waiting to fall. You have narrowly avoided all of these from crashing. And you hear Wrathel go, "What the hell are you thinking?" And he runs up to the back, sees you guys, and starts backing up, still shouting, "What are you doing?"
We discovered the source of the explosion from the previous 2 carts.
You dumb rust bucket! I will. And Darling's just trying to, like, stay in place and not move.
I'm not sure what to do from this point.
Oh, we need to get them back.
After a second, you guys collect yourself. You can put them away without, like, killing yourselves.
Standing them all back up. Okay.
And you hear Wrathel say, "What were you thinking?" And that's when we're going to go back to Shane and the other 2 people. This cart is finally out. They finally are able to, like, put the fire out. And these 2 guys start climbing up, hearing the commotion, the other explosion, right? They're climbing up, out, and Shane, you still see that one guy doesn't seem to be in the same hurry that the other guy is. But they're both heading that direction back to the main group. What do you want to do, Shane, if anything?
I could try to figure out this guy's deal, but that hasn't proved fruitful. Let me ask you this. I don't think this is what I want to do necessarily, but just taking a quick look around. Is the guy that I made the Lucky Rabbit's foot, or I'm sorry, the Lucky Moonling foot bet with still alive? Or is that guy dead?
Hold on. He's alive.
Hell yeah. Cool.
It's the one that's not acting shifty.
The one who's not shifty. Okay, great.
Oh, wouldn't it have been funnier if it was the other guy?
If it was the guy.
The dice didn't say that, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What can I do to be the most help right now? That seems like a situation for a face to handle, because somebody's got to talk to this guy in a way that he's going to understand and get the stuff away. There's nobody who's hurt. There's nobody who's in danger. Let me go ahead and just, I want to, again, like, or maybe even, like, do, like, a walk of a perimeter and smell, and, like, see if there's any threat from outside at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So you, roll, I assume you're trying to use your smell, right?
Yeah.
As much as you can, that makes sense.
Not to get too metagamey, but if we're not in combat, what I would do is I would cast guidance on myself, and then I would do this to give myself advantage on the check, because 6 seconds would pass. So I would cast advantage, guidance on myself to give me. Oh no, I wouldn't, because I am in wild shape, and I would have to come out of wild shape to cast a spell. So no, I won't. I'll just make a perception check straight. Yep. 21.
Pretty good. All right, so you're going to go around the perimeter and kind of like the perimeter of the 2 remaining wagons, I imagine, not the whole scene.
Right.
And just kind of like check things out. So the scene we have unfolding is these 2 guys are coming back with shovels in hands, and they're approaching Wrathel, and he's berating you guys. What were you thinking? And before you respond, that's when we see this giant badger kind of like walk to the side to start
Panda spotted badger.
Checking. Oh, panda spotted giant badger. And so he says, "What were you thinking? Why are you in the cart taking product? And why the hell did you throw one at me?"
He's dumb not taking it, looking for anything that can light this cart on fire too. You want the product safe or not?
That ship has obviously sailed. And now I've got
We can save
mercenaries
this
in the
ship
first
right
one.
here.
Why wouldn't you just ask me? Why did you run? Why didn't you just communicate?
Well, we're doing that now. Would you like to help figure it out?
I, for one, thought that the next vehicle was planning to be exploded. And so my sister and I, having the same likeness of mind, decided to come and investigate prior to the explosion. We did find the agent that caused the explosion. I think, perhaps, that your men forgot to lock up the goods, and they rocked and exploded. And that explosion caused the other one to rock as well, and caused the second explosion.
At that point is when Kato pulls out his little pipe and his Sherlock Holmes hat and says, I produced.
Bubbles come out.
Bloop, 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 bloop. And so he says, my men are fairly trained. They're not going to just leave the valuable, volatile explosions unlocked. That doesn't make any sense.
I'll do a spin of my cape and say, then we have a murder investigation.
Detective Kato is online.
But seriously, it seems like someone's probably thwarting your goods for their own benefits.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah, it does seem like that. It seems like there's a problem we have.
Are any of your men fairly new?
Motions to you, motions to Kato, motions to the two people behind you.
You do know that Kato is the robot that's played by Devin, and that Darling is the Fox girl played by Avon, correct? Just checking.
Oh, I said Kato. Whoops. Yeah, motions to Kato and Darling, motions to the other mercenaries. Yeah, you all knew.
Not to Gus. He trusts Gus.
The badger walked away.
He's been here literally the entire time.
I trust anybody who's on four legs.
He ate my food. He knows I can be trusted.
Yeah. This guy would have poisoned me. He's good people.
Yeah, while they're talking, I would just like to inspect the bottles as we were carefully putting them back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're not cracked.
Okay.
They could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. All right. We have one wagon left. Let's just try and get back in peace. One piece.
One quick thing. You may want to replace the lock that was holding that thing shut. I'm not sure what happened to the first one. Someone perhaps sabotaged that one as well, but found it. Like this. It's very dangerous.
Roll a deception check for the giggles of whether he believes you or not.
The 9.
He looks at you. Okay. We'll replace the lock before we go. Now get out of the cart!
Oh, yes. And he'll make his way down out of the cart. Echo in tow.
And you'll see he motions to one of the mercenaries. Please go fix that lock.
Yeah, Darlie would have followed out afterwards. Still looking at the cart rather suspiciously, though.
Gus, you've
Yes.
kind of like walked around, using your ears, using your nose. You're looking for a threat. With a 21, you know that you guys have made a lot of noise. A lot of noise. And you can hear something big coming.
Time to get the show on the road, everybody. There's something nasty coming.
Bobcat?
No, I'm a badger, not a bobcat. That's a different form, sir. I'm gonna go.
Man.
I'm gonna go start pushing the cart from behind to make it go left.
Well, What about Panda Express? I was going to tell you something, but now I have to ask the question. What are you doing about Panda Express? It's 80 feet away.
I was gonna go run over to the Panda Express to push it from the back to make it go.
I thought you were pushing the Black Lotus wagon.
No, my cart. Fuck their cart. I don't give a shit about their cart.
So, Gus, as you're running towards Panda Express with a 21, I, as a DM, have to inform you that the person you were worried about is the one replacing the lock. Now that doesn't have to change your decision.
This is juicy.
As I run by, my cart is my priority right now. I got a business to run. But as I run by and I look and I see that this is the guy changing the lock, I'm gonna shout out like, "Ooh, he's stealing!" Look at that guy! Whoa! See if I can spook him as I run.
He like looks at you and like starts to reassemble the lock, and Rathel looks at you confused.
I want to watch his hands.
What?
Caw-caw!
I would like to watch his hands. Like, what is, like, he's installing the lock, right? But like, if I'm standing outside the cart and I can see inside still because they haven't replaced the door lock.
Roll perception. We'll see how well he does. If he does anything at all.
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
19?
He's just replacing a lock. Yeah, you watch him as Kato crushed not only the lock but the frame that was mounted on it. He replaces the frame and he replaces the lock, and you watch him click it. With a 19, you know that lock looks different than the other lock. It like is not the same make and model from what you can tell.
Is that supposed to be a different lock?
Who do you say that to?
I think it's Ethel is his name.
Rathel. So Rathel, he's like walking towards the front in a hurry, and he stops and says, "What?"
Well, the lock that was on the box before is different than the lock that's on the box now. My brother was worried he was stealing, and he obviously wasn't, but that's a different lock.
Hey, roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's a 17?
Not bad. It could be much worse. You're going to take 7 points of fire damage. From the cart, the guy hears you, and he throws a potion. This explosion rocks the cart forward. You get blasted forward into Rathel. Rathel like catches you, and as fire plumes up behind you, which fuck, you're a fox. Are you weirdly resistant to fire? Is that something I've made up in my head?
No, I'm not resistant
You're thinking of the web
fire.
browser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what?
The web browser.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yes. So you're like pushed forward into Rathel. The other guard has been blown off the highway and down into the embankment. And this guy leaps down from the cart, and he's got 2 of these potions in his hand. And he looks at Rathel and looks at not Kato, Darling, and says, "You just couldn't leave it alone, could you?"
Nope, I get in all sorts of business. That wasn't very nice.
Cool. He throws the 2 in his hands at you and Rathel. Yes, Kato.
I would like to use my reaction.
I'm
gonna try. I know it can't do it for both. I don't think it's gonna work for both.
I'm curious. Just tell me what you want to do.
My attempt is to take the momentum of one of these, catching it on, what do we call her? Mercy's. Oh my gosh, taking my weapon, and I want to take the momentum, do a spin, send it Mercy's Reach and send it back to him. So I can't stop two, I don't think, but I think I could maybe catch one.
So you want to catch this on the edge of your blade,
spin around, and like carry the momentum around so it doesn't
flip
break.
It back.
Lacrosse, baby.
Oh, lacrosse. I thought hockey stick, but lacrosse. Okay. To me, hockey stick makes more sense because it's flat. I love this idea.
It's very sexy.
I want you to I want you to do a dexterity saving throw.
Dice don't fail me now. You failed me now.
It's
that's
a challenging move.
Okay. Real quick, Avon, this is just a suggestion, but maybe that time that Papa Derringer taught you how to juggle real good. Maybe you have a flashback. That time you learned to juggle real good as a performer.
And it was heavy things, oddly shaped.
It was specifically like glasses of whiskey,
and everything.
To entertain
bottles of alcohol,
Papa's rich
potentially
friends.
potions, smoke bombs.
I mean, I'm down for that.
So you think about what you want to do as these two circular potions, almost baseball size, head both your directions. Kato, like you almost hear like the winding of his joints as he like steps a few feet forward, scoops one with his Mercy's Reach, and his intention is to hockey puck it back or lacrosse it back to this guy. And you watch him scoop it and flip it forward towards the cart.
Oh no.
What do you want to do?
So are we in initiative or like what's up? Am I hanging out? Like what's up?
Well, you're running back to the cart, but when you hear the commotion, if you want to turn back, we're not in initiative. They're trying to resolve potentially the start of combat. Because this is the action of him throwing these.
Can I turn back around and address this fool?
You can turn back around and head his direction. I imagined you were like 30 feet already.
I mean, I shouted at this guy to alert Darling in the first, like, so I was like running past them. I wouldn't imagine I'd gotten very far away.
But remember, Rathel was confused. Was like, well, he's just installing the lock. She watched him install the lock. And that's when she was like, hey, no, man, no, that's a different lock. Like, what the hell?
Well, I'm too far away. That's too far away.
Well, I'm just saying you're about 30 feet away, so you can turn back around. So
well,
combat does happen.
I can close 30 feet distance, easy.
But correct. We have to resolve this quick burst before you can take your turn to go and like, because remember a turn is in 6 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. So
let her act or suffer the consequences, and then you can do something because they are right there. Then you can act.
Okay. Am I in any position to try and catch that eating bottle? Or am I going to try and do like like the fire and shot move where you see something fly and then you take a shot to hopefully explode it before it gets anywhere else?
That's your choice. The one that Kato flipped, I will give you this. You can try and catch one. If you try to catch the one that Kato flipped towards the cart, it's going to be harder. If you try to catch the one that flipped, because you guys are still right next to the cart, right? Like ultimately, you're about 5 feet away from the cart. So you can catch the one that's close to you or the one that's heading towards the cart. One's going to be harder than the other, obviously.
I'm going to value our lives a little bit better and catch the one towards the cart. Because if that thing explodes, we're all dead.
It is kind of
maybe we might get the one before.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. How's an 18?
Do you have a tail?
As Darling?
Form?
Yeah, in normal form, yeah.
Perfect. Darling, like, leaps forward and almost, like, front flips into the air. And I imagine you use your tail, like, to just extend your reach and, like, scoop that bad boy up. Does that sound like something Darling would do?
Oh, definitely. She's a dancer.
Darling crashes into this cart dramatically. Very grateful that the potion did not explode against the cart. Also, in a weird, crumpled up version upside down against the side of this cart on the ground. The other one does explode. And Kato, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw since you step forward next to...
okay, that's
next
not
to Lawful.
terrible.
Wrong
14.
die. Not rolling a d20 for damage.
Thank you.
Leaves at 14.
14.
You're going to take 11 points of fire damage, and you watch as Rathel is blasted backwards, and he kind of rolls and is crumpled up in a weird heap, relatively unmoving from this blast. Shane, is there anything you would like to do before we potentially get into combat?
Yeah, I want to close the distance with this fool, and I want to like walk up to him and just be like snarling, like, "Oh, I'm always hungry, but for some reason, when I get mad, I get downright ravenous." I'd like to make an intimidation check.
Absolutely. Please roll an intimidation check.
15.
Yeah, he turns and sees this giant badger, and he turns to run.
Can I hamstring him? Can I like reach out and like bite the back of his leg?
Yeah, you can attack him, absolutely. 100%. He just
Or I guess
sees you. Go ahead.
The smartest thing to do strategically in D&D terms would be to grapple him.
You can attempt to grapple him, or you can attack him. Dealer's choice.
I'll go ahead and grapple him.
Okay. You're probably going to be stronger than him. Who knows?
Who knows?
Probably going to be stronger than him.
I got an 18.
Just by
Just
14.
barely. What is my 14?
So he turns and runs. How do you stop him?
I'll reach out with my badger teeth and I'll just bite like his collar and just yoink him back.
Yoink. And I think you do. You yoink him and he kind of like hangs there like by a cat. And he starts flailing. Let go of me.
I'm going to start shaking him.
Calm down! And he bites you for another like 15, 16 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. And then you kind of see him
smacking him against the ground. Calm down!
To sleep. Yeah, so he calms down and he realizes he's not going to get away from this giant badger. What? What do you want?
I'm going to... my mouth is kind of full. I'm going to gesture towards Kato and be like, secure this guy.
Oh, yeah,
you can
and
do
so
it with your... Yeah.
My Echo will come over and help me to... So, I guess we can establish this. The Echo... Some people debate whether it... Like, I don't think it has senses. Like, it doesn't have... It can't perceive things. It can't... I don't even know that it necessarily can see things. I think I can just use it for that. What do we want to do with that? Because I don't know that it has a form that can actually... It can attack, but it can't... I don't think it'd be able to pick up things or do things, but that's...
Don't you
that's
have a
gonna
move at a later level where you can literally, like, see through its eyes and, like, see... It says, like, you take on its senses? Isn't that a thing you get later?
Yeah, but right now, it does not.
And it can attack for you. It doesn't say that you can,
so
like,
it doesn't
use
say
him
you can't
to
or
do
can't.
things for you.
No, you cannot use...
Yeah. It's just attacking and swapping spaces. He's not like
use item is a standard action that you can do on your turn.
Yes.
You can't do that action. You can only take the attack action.
Right.
Correct. So he can't like do things for you.
Correct.
I like the idea that like he's mimicking you, but you would have to actually do it.
Yeah. It's not
okay. So it's me that brings him down and is holding now. I guess, do I need to do a grapple thing? Is he trying to get away from me, or is he kind of?
No, man, he's grappled. He can't resist you from being restrained. I mean, we could, but that's stupid.
Well, I'm going to bring him
overpower
down,
him.
and now I'm holding him on the shoulders.
Yeah, you just restrain him or grapple him.
Do you have like some rope to tie him up with, maybe?
Yeah, somebody has rope, right?
I do have rope. Yeah, so I did.
Yeah, I imagined that's what you wanted to do, and then you said the shoulders, and I was like, all right.
Just gonna hold him. Just you're restrained by me, the man. Man of cold.
The man.
I would like to also, just
Kato
while that's
Cassius.
happening, toss one of my healer's kits over to Darling and say, "Would you be a Darling and help Rathel? See if he can."
Oh yeah, she would have just scooped up that kit to go check him out, like while you guys were doing that. Like,
Yeah. So you run over to Rathel, and Rathel is unconscious, but he seems stable.
okay, cool beans. I'm just gonna like make sure he's all good. Any boo-boos get bandages with this kit.
Okay.
Then she will try to wake up. I was like, hey, you alive still? Like, I can tell you're breathing, but
Rathel lays unmoving. I mean, he's breathing still, but he does not return to consciousness.
she'll look over to her brothers. Like, he's breathing, but he's not waking up.
That's better than dead.
To be clear, is he just knocked out, or is he in like a critical condition?
He's just knocked out.
Okay.
He's not a fighter.
Got
Remember, he's the guy like, this is the job. I run the project.
Yeah.
He's not muscle.
I'll lead with the interrogation on this guy. Still a badger. Who do you work for? Jack.
I don't know a Jack.
I'm calling you Jack, fool. Who do you work for, Jack?
I'm not telling you anything.
You want to know how I'm gonna cook you?
He'll do it.
Immediately breaks.
I'm gonna put you in a pot. And I'm gonna boil you for a long time, hours.
That sounds really painful.
Actually, your nerves would fry after only an hour, and you wouldn't feel it beyond that point.
It's a slow.
That sounds less
boil.
bad, thank you.
It's a special technique I learned.
Listen, we just wanted the potions.
Who wanted the potion?
We did. My crew. Well, they were my crew.
Keep it going.
They're dead now. We just wanted the potions. We figured if they're transferring potions, we'd steal them, then we'd go back and sell them back in Prentice. It's supposed to be an easy job.
Are you the only member left of your crew?
He kind of looks around. I think so.
I don't know Egos law. Do we kill him? What do we do? I don't know what's the local custom for potion stealing.
They probably have a work program.
No. Sorry, Avon. That is where we end the episode.
Okay.
Oh no!
That is too good of a quote to not end with the timing of, I don't know Ego's law. Do we just kill him?
But I don't know what the rules are. What's frontier justice in this world?
I'm going to immediately, next episode, request that we tie him up, leave him here for whatever creature you said was coming for us later, so that we'll find something to snack on.
I could just use suggestion. That'd be a fun time.
Back rub.
We got options. I like that we have
We
options.
got options.
Well, this has been an experience. So, what we need to do, we got some things before we can move on, before we can go on to the next thing in our lives. So let's do a roll for humanity. So, Shane, if you would please do me a roll for humanity, and I'm going to need you to roll it for Able Gamers.
Able Gamers, really great organization. We encourage you to roll for either our monthly charity that we picked or your own charity. It doesn't matter. Whatever tickles your heart. You can roll a d20 if that's what your budget supports. A d10, d12, a d6, even flip coin. That's d2. That's worst case scenario, $2, and it helps you feel like a little bit of a hero when you're done adventuring for the day at your table. We rolled a 2.
Okay. You know, they got a crit in the first one.
Hey,
so.
you get some. The dice does what the dice
what you
does.
get.
You know, if you flipped a coin, that's a crit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying the big thing is we can't change the world all by our onesies. So you guys got to help us out, and you got to roll for humanity too, or else it won't work super good.
Them stacks.
Oh man. Well, that's all fine and dandy. I'm going to give you a quote of wisdom that I want you guys to, I'm still looking for a pattern in what the hell you guys are doing to these.
Agreed. I think I'm still
We're still trying to
The answer is reacting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all the same. Here we go. Don't waste your time with explanations. People only want to hear what they want to hear.
I've got a take.
Go ahead.
Don't waste your time on explanations because you just don't care what other people like. Let them think whatever. Just don't do it. Is that kind of what the quote was? I guess.
Yeah, that was the quote. Don't waste your time with explanations. People only hear what they want to hear.
No, I don't care about what people want to hear. I just don't waste your time with explanations. Period. Like, just even if they did care about what you had to say, you don't have to justify yourself to anyone except for you. Like, if you can sleep at night, God bless you.
Yeah, that's spending too much energy.
Devin will too.
spend too much energy.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Well, what I'm not going to do is explain to you my thoughts about this, because you're only going to hear what you want to hear anyway. So, for you.
Also true. What's the point of that?
He beat you
we
with your
should
own
react.
moves.
It doesn't matter what
He
we do.
beat you with your own moves.
It's true.
It's war games. The only way to win is by not playing. You're right. That's the thing, Devin. That's every week when Dwayne presents a poignant response, we have to turn it into a non-answer, like the least substance possible.
There it is.
Excellent. So it's like playing D&D with him. Got it.
Pretty much. Whatever goes.
Hey, guys, thanks for letting me tell you a story.
Thanks for telling us one.
Yeah, let's hurry up and end this so I can get to the next episode.
Yes,
We
please.
love you.
What happened?
We love you.
We love
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.